In this episode, we do a bareboat charter in Sardinia and Corsica with our Atlantic crossing crew and their spouses.
Sail Italia.
We chartered with Sail Italia, a moorings and sunsail partner.
Here we go.
Are you checking my wind speed?
Our boat, Do Reve 2, is a Robertson Cane Leopard 45 badged as a moorings 4500. For this charter, we picked up the boat in Cangione, Sardinia. We sailed around the Maddalena Islands and up to Corsica and back. Our charter was Saturday to Saturday, but we couldn't get on the boat until around 1 and had to get off the boat by 9 a.m. the next Saturday, which meant we had to be back at the base by Friday night. Every trip starts with provisioning.
The fun part of provisioning. Bringing everything back to the boat. All right, now the pavement ends across the dirt. Time to scramble. Even run over Jai's toes.
Oh, it's going to go up to 70 kilometers with wind gusts of 101 kilometers.
Hey, a bad day chilling at the marina.
From the get-go, our charter didn't go as planned. When we showed up Saturday, the Mistral winds were blowing a steady 25 knots with gusts to 45, and we weren't allowed to leave the marina.
We're underway, leaving Cangione. There's Sandy having fun. Let's take a look at the people at the helm. There's Jai. And there are a few people over there at the helm.
That's Dennis, Marin, and Chris at the helm.
Pretty little beaches. Guys that are out for the day.
We did a stop at a crowded anchorage for lunch and then sailed on to the park mooring field located between Isola Videli, Isola Rizzoli, and Isola Santa Maria.
Monday morning. We're located in the national park just north of Isla Budeli, south. I can't remember the name of the island. Fortunately, we're open to the wind. Got white caps coming through the
There was some excitement later in the morning when the boat in front of us broke free from its mooring and crashed into us, crushing the bow pulpit with its anchor. There's the mooring he broke free from. With nothing to the west but open ocean, we were perfectly situated to look for the green flash.
right there. Yes, it happened. I saw it.
The next morning we sailed north to Corsica. The island of Lavisi is off to the right, and the city of Bonifacio is on the top of the cliffs to the left.
What Reed's doing, I think it's not bad. 8.5 knots and 17 apparent. I tell you what true is, but it doesn't work on this boat. Master sailor here at the helm.
Nice to be sailing again.
Bonifacio sits atop the cliffs. There wasn't room in the marina for us, so we anchored in a beautiful bay off Paragon Beach. falling on Corsican soil. We dig into the beach, and it wasn't particularly attractive, being covered in enormous mounds of seagrass. I don't think people come down here and sunbathe. Sandy was smart and brought a wetsuit. The water wasn't particularly warm, and there wasn't much to see either, just these little guys. We were able to make a reservation the next day to stay in the marina in Bonifacio, so we made our way in.
The Port of Bonifacio did kind of a strange thing, and they put us, never done this before, we're at the end of the pontoon. I mean, at the end of the pontoon. We've got one stern line attached to the, one bow line attached, and then what's hard to see, probably can't, we have a slime line attached to the port bow over there to keep us from coming away from the dock, because the winds are coming directly on our bow. Anyway, never done this before.
Here's another look at our location in Bonifacio.
We made it into Port Bonifacio.
Our location at the end of the dock resulted in an innovative use of the gangplank. A short walk up a wide walkway leads to the old town on top of the cliffs.
There's the back of all the crew. And the view just keeps getting better and better and better.
I know the chocolate looks like citrus.
I think it'd be lemon.
There's the crew trying to figure out what the French words for anything are.
Yeah, you never know. Citronus.
Smoke raisins or raisins plays on. Maybe.
Maybe. That's gonna make it.
Here's the view of the marina from the old town. That's Du Reve too. Night was magical. Bonifacio was definitely the highlight of our cruise. We headed back to Sardinia the next day.
We're doing a beam reach, nearly a beam reach, with just the jib out. 20 knots, 19, 20 knots apparent, 5 knots of speed over ground. That's not too bad. Just one sail.
We anchored in a bay on the northern end of Sardinia, just around the corner from Porto Pudu.
This is the sailboard area of Sardinia.
For our final mooring, we headed back to the Maddalena Islands. We stopped in Cala Corsara on the island of Spargi, planning to have breakfast there. The moorings in Maddalena are like nothing I've seen before. They have a big hoop on top that you need to loop your mooring line through. You either need help from someone in a dinghy or do what we did here and stern tie, which we'd seen before, and decided to do since we were only planning to stay for a short while. Our stay ended up being shorter than planned when someone came by and told us to get off the mooring because it was reserved. So we peeled off the mooring and sailed to Porto Palma off the island of Stagnoli to relax until we needed to head back to the base. Around 3 o'clock, we motored back to the base to end our very short Sardinian charter.